Good day everyone, welcome back to Together and to Infinity's YouTube channel. For today's video, we are going to discuss the consumer and business loan as well as amortization and mortgages. But first, we need to know what the meaning of these lessons is, so it will be easy for us to understand the problems. So let's get started.
First, let us tackle business loans. A business loan is a form of borrowed cash that businesses use to cover expenses that they are unable to cover on their own. Several business owners have used business loans to pay for salaries and wages while their new firm is getting off the ground, while other businesses have used borrowed funds to purchase office supplies, inventory, or undertake business ventures of their own. The way a firm wants to spend the borrowed cash funds is important information for lenders. Therefore, business owners must ensure that they have a detailed plan in place for how the money will be used.
For the problem, here's an example. Mrs. Hermosa borrowed 13 million pesos for the expansion of her oil company business. The effective rate of interest is 10%. The loan is to be repaired in 3 full years. How much is to be paid after 3 years? First thing to get is the values to be used. The principal amount or P is 13 million, the term or T is 3, interest rate is 0.10. The formula to be used is F is equals to P times the quantity 1 plus J raised to T. Substituting the values to the given formula, we will have F is equals to 13,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.10 raised to 3. Calculating the amount to be paid after 3 years will be 17,303,000.
A consumer loan is a type of loan that banks provide to consumers in order for them to purchase domestic items and appliances as well as electronic devices, television sets, air conditioners, home theater systems, refrigerators, laptop computers, mobile phones, cameras, and even modular kitchens are among the items that qualify.
For the problem about the consumer loan, here is an example. Mr. Julio bought a house and lot, and after paying the down payment, the amount of the loan is now 1,500,000 pesos with an interest rate of 5% that is compounded monthly. And the term of the loan is 5 years. So how much will be the monthly payment? The first thing to get is the values used. So the principal amount, which is P, is 1,500,000 and the term is 5. The compounding period M is 12. The number of years N is 60, and since we have to multiply M and T, I to the power of 12 is 0.05 and the J is I to the power of 12 divided by 12 is 0.05 divided by 12. The formula to be used here is R equals P over 1 minus open parenthesis 1 plus J close parenthesis to the power of negative N divided by J. Substituting the values of the given formula, we will have R is equal to 1,500,000 over 1 minus open parenthesis 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12 close parenthesis to the power of negative 60 all over 0.05 divided by 12. By calculating the monthly payment, the result will be 28,306 pesos and 85 centavos.
A chattel mortgage is similar to a regular mortgage, which is a loan where the lender or the bank will have temporary ownership of a property and will only return the property when the debt is paid off, with the only difference being that the property needs to be movable when it comes to a chattel mortgage.
For the problem, we can have Riley borrowed 1 million pesos for the purchase of a house in Amaya Escapes. If her monthly payment is 20,000 on a 6-year mortgage, find out the total amount of mortgage. The first thing to get is the values. Principal amount is 1 million, monthly payment is 20,000. To get the total amount, we need to multiply the monthly payment, compounding period, and term used. We will have a total amount equals to 20,000 times 12 months times 6 years. To calculate, we will get 1,440,000 pesos. Next is to find the total interest, wherein we have to subtract the total amount to the amount of mortgage. We have a total amount of 1,440,000 pesos minus 1 million, which is the amount of the mortgage. Subtracting, the final answer will be 440,000 pesos.
Mortgage is where a person uses their own property in order to secure a loan. This is where the property will temporarily be owned by the bank and then returned to the owner once they have managed to pay back their debt, and if the borrower cannot repay their loan, the bank will sell the property to get their money back.
In getting the amount of mortgage, we can have a problem of if Ian sold his ancestral house for 15 million pesos and the bank requires 15% down payment, find this amount of mortgage. In the amount of the mortgage, we have to solve first for the down payment so that we can get the amount of loan. In solving for the down payment, we have to multiply the down payment rate and cash price. In our problem, we have 0.15 multiplied to 15 million. The product will be 2,250,000. Third and final step is to get the amount of loan, wherein we have to subtract cash price to our down payment. Here we have 15 million minus 2,250,000. The amount of loan will be 12,750,000 pesos.
An amortization schedule is a table that displays how much of each periodic loan payment, often monthly, is assigned for interest versus the principal. A lender can use amortization tables to keep track on what they owe and when payments are due, as well as estimate the outstanding balance or the interest at any points in the cycle. When dealing with installment loans with known payoff dates at the time the loan is taken out, such as a mortgage or a vehicle loan, amortization schedules are frequently observed.
Before we proceed to amortization schedule, let us first have a problem involving amortization and its formula to be used. Suppose Ara is planning to get 13,000 loan from a furniture dealer at 15% annual interest with annual payments that you will pay off in over 7 years. What will be her annual payments on this loan? Construct an amortization schedule. The first thing to do is to get the values to be used. Our principal amount is 13,000, interest rate is 0.15, and number of years is 7. The formula to be used is R is equals to Pi over 1 minus quantity of 1 plus I raised to n. Substituting the values, we will have 13,000 0.15 over 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.15 raised to 7. Calculating, the amortization will be 3,124.68 pesos.
For the amortization schedule, we have to consider years 1 to 7 in order to know the amount of money to be paid. We need to have 8 rows and 6 columns. List down the 1 to 7 years in the 7 rows. In getting the amount owed on principal at the beginning of a year, A, the year 1 should include the principal amount of 13,000, followed by the after annuity payment of column E, which is 11,825 pesos and 32 centavos. Continuing the process, the amount owed on principal at the beginning of a year on year 7 will be 2,717 pesos and 17 centavos. For column B, since we have computed the regular payment, which is 3,124 pesos and 68 centavos, years 1 to 7's payment will be 3,124 pesos and 68 centavos. To get the column C or the interest portion of the annuity, calculate the interest using the formula I is equal to P times R times T or I is equal to P times J. In our year 1, we will have 1,950 pesos as interest portion, while in year 7, we will get 407 pesos and 58 centavos only. To get the column D or the repayment of the principal portion of the annuity, subtract column C from column D. For example, in year 1, we have 3,124 pesos and 68 centavos in column B, and we have 1,950 pesos in column C. Subtracting 3,124.68 minus 1,950, we will get 1,174 pesos and 68 centavos. In column E, after the annuity payment, we just have to subtract column E to column D. For instance, we have 11,825 pesos and 32 centavos minus 1,350 pesos and 88 centavos. The answer will be 10,474 pesos and 44 centavos. Continuing the process, we will come up with 0.07 in the last part of the column E, meaning that Ara has paid the amount for 7 years.
And that is all for now. We hope that you learned something from watching our math tutorial about consumer and business loans, as well as amortization and mortgage. See you on our next video. Bye!